So, bali, record na. Bali mo, unta. Kang tak, kumakabal bang sunod ang interview sa job. Focus mo kay James.
Yeah?
Paul, ikaw ba? Tanan. Create, sulat ta, tanan. Okay?
Roger that. Yokai.
Nice.
Lights, camera, action. Good morning. My name is James Lim and today I will be interviewing Mr. Mark over here. He will be helping us today in our research of the opinions of students who are getting left behind or the ones who are cutting class. So, good morning Mr. Mark.
Good morning, Mr. Lim.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
So, thank you very much for coming and agreeing to this interview. I have to ask, do you cut class?
Sometimes,
Do your classmates cut class?
yes.
Do you know anybody in your class that frequently cuts or skips?
Yes, I know most of them.
So, what are the most common excuses your classmates have for cutting and just not going to class?
Others are saying that they need to work their project. Others are saying that the class is boring or we have nothing to do in that class, so they will just cut class. Others just say they are not feeling well and they want to rest. That's their reasons.
What do you find the most common reason to be?
The class is boring and up ng deadline projects. That's the common reasons that my classmates are using.
So for those common reasons, do you find that their excuse is valid?
No, because if they know that their output is due today or on that day, they know when to start so that they don't need to cut their classes, because our teachers give us time to do the projects, so they don't have the reason to cut classes because they don't finish the projects.
However, in those cases where they cut class to do that, does it benefit the student?
No, because they missed some lessons, and some lessons are hard to understand without listening to the teachers or knowing the lessons for that day, because it's hard if you're not good at reading, if you have low standard of understanding the certain topic, it will be hard for you to know the lessons and understand it deeper.
What about the excuses of family matters or government matters? Are those valid?
Yes, those are valid because, as we all know, family is important. Family comes first. And in government, of course, it is important because we also have responsibility as a citizen of this country. We need to follow the rules. Of course, if the government, as we need to do something for the government, we have no choice but to do it because it's our responsibility.
So when your classmates decide not to go in, is there a pattern of when they do it?
Actually, yes. Some of my classmates has a pattern, especially if the class is boring. Let's say during MTech, we have a classmate who cuts classes. Especially if we have nothing to do. Just like in MTech, we just go in the computer lab, just do nothing. So they cut class because there's nothing to do. It's boring in there.
What about the students who still go even if it's boring? What stops them from cutting?
Well, it is because they can do some of their other things like other projects in their projects in other subjects. So they need to cut class because they find that subject has a positive way to do something else, not only in that subject but also in other subjects.
So when you see that your classmates decide not to go in, does it also affect everyone else's motivation to continue going to class?
Yes, there is a possibility because just like if they ask their classmates to go to computer shops to play games or go somewhere else or just have fun, of course that student might be agreeing to cut some class because it's not, it can make their day better because they can have fun in that time or in that moment.
Does it tempt you to cut class?
Sometimes it tempts me to cut class, especially if some of my friends ask me to go to computer shops to play a game or go to the mall.
Is this the biggest factor that makes you not go into class?
No, the biggest factor is doing a project, especially if that project is due today. It would be hard for me to do a project while the teacher is discussing, so I have no choice but to cut classes just to finish my outputs.
What would some ways you would suggest to reduce the number of people to not cut?
So in my opinion, I would suggest that these students needs more inspirations in class. Not just only computer shops or the things they love to do outside the campus. And also the teachers needs to, well, find a way to reduce the number of absence of students. Let's say every day the teacher will have a game, just a simple game to entertain the students, so that the students don't find it boring during that class.
So would you say that the problem is on the teacher side or on the school side?
Actually, it's not the teacher and it's not the school, it's the students have the problem because it's their choice to cut the class. It's their choice to not to attend that certain class, even though if they know that there is a lesson or it would be hard for them to catch up the lesson.
So even if the suggestions you recommend would be implemented, would it really affect the number of absentees since it is student-sided?
Yes, there is a possibility because today's generation, we students likes to have fun. We want just a happy-go-lucky day, a happy-go-lucky person. We do everything just for fun. So if the class is fun, the students will not attempt to cut classes because they find the lesson or the class fun.
So do you have any suggestions on making changes on the student side?
Yes, students should learn how to know their limitations because they already hit the limits of having fun. They can cut the class whole day, or they can do something that can put them in danger. So I suggest to them that separate the time to have fun and to educate themselves, because education can help them to be a better person, not just having fun. In education, we can still have fun. having fun while learning something that can make our life easier.
So if students know that, would there be less absences?
Yes, there is a possibility.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Sir Mark, for being guest speaker. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
May kalabutan mo yan.